Okay, everyone. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank every single one of you for coming. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Sunday night to come to our event. Let's look forward to a very productive talk tonight. All right. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Sachin, our guest speaker, for making the time to be our knowledge sharer for tonight. All right. So everyone, just a small reminder for everyone is that if you have any questions, don't be shy to put them in our chat box, and we will address them at the end during our Q&A session. We're hoping for a more interactive session, so please don't be shy to make any comments, questions, relevant ones at least, in the chat box. Okay, this is for everyone's knowledge sharing, and our agenda is that we're going to be talking about the Cypress architecture framework, an initial walkthrough of the framework of that, and then we'll have our Q&A session, and then lastly we'll have our quiz, and we'll give a digital certification for those who do well in the quiz. All right, my name is Daniel. I'll be your host for tonight. All right, so our guest speaker is Sachin, and he has 3 years of experience in automation history with history of working in the information technology and service industry. Sachin, please take it away. The floor is yours. Please give yourself a more deeper introduction for everyone here.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Hey guys, first of all, a very good evening to you all. So welcome to Cypress Tech Talk series. Today's topic is going to be about the Cypress architecture and the framework walkthrough, as Daniel said. So before I directly jump on to the agenda for today and discuss about what all we are going to see in this webinar, a little bit about me. So my name is Sachin Manurkar. I carry around 3+ of experience in automation testing, specialized in web automation and API. So currently I'm working as a test automation engineer at SignEasy, and you can connect me on LinkedIn. That's my LinkedIn handle. So yeah, let us look at what is the agenda for today's webinar. So we are going to talk about what is Cypress. So Vinayak has already covered about what is Cypress in the last session briefly. So if you guys have not seen it, you can go to the QA Tech Talks channel, YouTube channel, and you can see we have covered already a session on that. So I'm just going to recap what is Cypress, and we are going to look at architecture of Cypress in comparison with Selenium, because Selenium is predominantly one of the most widely used UI automation tool. So we are going to compare that with Cypress with Selenium. So we are also going to see what all commands are needed in installation of Cypress. If you are getting Cypress, if you're starting with Cypress for the first time, then what all commands are needed in order to get started. So when you install Cypress for the first time, what is the project structure that Cypress gives you? We are going to even walk you through that, and followed by a Q&A and a quiz. So let's get started. So what is Cypress? So Cypress is a next generation front-end automation testing tool mainly designed for the modern web. So if you look at most of the modern web applications these days are dynamic in nature, because of which they are highly dependent on APIs underneath they use. So sometimes if API takes time to respond, then the application show loading or animation rendering to the user to keep him involved with the application. So what happens is if there is any possibility that code and so there's a possibility that code and the application under the test will not be in sync with each other. Hence, we might get a false promises or false failures, right? So there is when Cypress comes into picture with its rich set of features and different architecture, which help us to write code that is fast, reliable, and flaky free, and ensure that the code and application under test are in sync with each other. So that's the reason they call it as a front-end tool that is mainly designed for the modern web. So if you look at Cypress in a nutshell, what it is, basically Cypress is a framework that consists of Mocha. Mocha is a Cypress JavaScript test framework similar to that of TestNG. If you are coming from a Selenium background, that you'll be able to relate to that. So Cypress tests are written in JavaScript, and Cypress uses jQuery to interact with the DOM elements. And Chai is the assertion library that Cypress is built upon. So now these three are something that makes Cypress framework together bundled, right? So now you might wonder that, hey, do I need to install Mocha and Chai separately? Well, no. So since Cypress is built on the top of Mocha and Chai, it comes in bundled with all these three together. So before Cypress, if you had to create a framework, you can see in the diagram that you had to choose between a framework for writing the test. You have to choose between the assertion libraries. You have to install Selenium and all these things. Then that would develop a framework. But with Cypress, you can with these all things comes in bundled so that you can get started in writing a test. So now let us jump to the Cypress architecture. So before that, if you go to the Cypress website, this is what they say. Cypress does not use Selenium. It is architecturally and fundamentally built different from Selenium. So if you look at most of the tools in the market like WebDriver IO, Puppeteer, they all use Selenium under the hood. But that there is where the Cypress is completely architecture differently, which means Cypress does not use Selenium under the hood. Its architecture and fundamentally is completely different, built different from Selenium. So for that, first we will see how Selenium is architectured. I know most of you guys already worked on Selenium, so I'm not going to go in deep. So in Selenium, what actually happens is when you write your code and compile your code, the code talks with your browser driver using a HTTP request. This is via JSON wire protocol. So basically that is a get command with a URL, right? So when your code talks with a browser driver is a middleware which consists of different executable browsers like Chrome, Getco, on which browser you want to run your test. So now it's a responsibility of the browser driver to execute the commands on the browser in behalf of you. So browser driver in turn talk with your browser to perform some actions, for example, click or type or whatever it is. So once it performs the action on the browser, your browser will return some response that will be sent back to your IDE. That's how the Selenium is architectured internally. That's the reason we say in Selenium, the test runs outside the browser because there is a middleware called browser driver, which facilitates how to run your that facilitates to run your test. But when it comes to Cypress architecture, it's completely different. You can see here there is a Node.js server where the Cypress is sitting and there is a browser. So I know this diagram is a bit kind of confusing. For this, I have broken this diagram into a smaller piece to make you guys understand how Cypress works internally. So what happens is when you run your Cypress test, say for example, you have Cypress test consist of login into Amazon website and search for a product, right? So all this code gets packaged into a single JavaScript file called cypress test.js. One thing to note is that this all happens internally. So once this package once this all code gets into once it gets packaged, it will be moved to the Node.js process. So Node.js process, now it's a responsibility of Node.js process to execute the test behalf of you, right? So once the Node.js process is ready, it will open the browser with some kind of proxy and injects your test into an iframe inside the browser. So once it injects the test into an iframe inside the browser, once a test will start running inside the same browser, it will even open the application, and your application will also start running inside the same browser, which means your test and application are running inside the same browser, which makes it even faster and reliable. Since Cypress is sitting inside the browser also, so it has access to all the different things like DOM, network, window, local storage, and everything. That's the reason Cypress is fast. So to kind of show you in real time how this works, this is what is a video, right? So as I told you that whenever I click on a particular test, it will open the Cypress window, it will open the browser window, and you can see that it has created a proxy. And inside the iframe, it will start loading the test. And once your test will start running, even you can see that the application is loading at the same time, which means in reality, both your test and applications are running at the same time, making it faster and more reliable and less flaky free. So I hope you guys understood this part. So this is what is the main difference between the Cypress architecture and the Selenium architecture. Now let us go to the how to install Cypress. So for installing Cypress, you need to have Node installed in your machine. And let me walk you through the different commands that are needed to install Cypress. And we are going to install Cypress in our local machine and write a simple test. So the first command that you need to install Cypress is npm init. So if any one of you have worked on JavaScript projects, then the first thing that you have to do before creating a project is install package.json, and the command needed to install package.json is npm init, which will walk you through certain steps and which will help you to create package.json. In simple terms, package.json is required to manage the dependencies. And the next, once you install package.json, then is when you have to install Cypress. For installing the Cypress, you have a command called npm install cypress hyphen hyphen save hyphen dev. So this will install the latest version of Cypress. So if you want to install a particular version, you can say Cypress at that particular version name. then it will install the particular version. So if you're opening Cypress for the first time after installing, then Cypress is sitting inside node modules and bin folder. So if you're opening the Cypress module for the first time, then you have to navigate to this location and open it, which will open the test runner. And to just make sure that everything is working fine inside Cypress, just click on all the spec files that are created by Cypress team by default, and see whether everything is working fine or not. So now let us see a demo. Let us try to install Cypress in our local machine and see write a small test and see what are the different ways we can run our code. So now you can see that I have opened a Visual Studio Code for as an IDE, and I have created a empty Cypress demo folder where I'm going to install Cypress and write my test. So first thing that I told you is before installing the Cypress, we have to install package.json. And for the command that is used for that is npm init. So when you say once you say npm init, it will walk you through this certain steps, which allows you to give some certain inputs. So package name, I'm going to leave blank. Version name also I'm going to leave blank. The demo description I'm going to give is my first Cypress framework. Entry point I'm going to leave blank. Test command also I'm going to leave blank. Git repository, if you want to link it to some Git repository, we can give here. As of now, I don't have, so I'll just leave it blank. So keywords, I'll leave it blank, and author, I'll give my name. So basically, once I hit enter, license also leave it blank. It will show you that, okay, this is what is the, this is how I'm going to create the package.json file. So I'm going to say yes. So the moment I say yes, you can see that package.json file is created. Now it does not have any dev dependency. For that, the next step that I'm going to do is install Cypress. For installing the Cypress, as I showed you, there is a command called npm install Cypress --save -dev. So --save -dev will install Cypress as a dev dependency. So if I hit enter, then you can see that it will take around 10 to 15 seconds to install Cypress if you're installing for the first time, so that it will package all the dependencies that are needed. Let it install. Yeah, you can see that the latest version is 6.5.0, which is released just 2 days back, and it has installed it. So the moment you install the Cypress for the first time, what you need to do is the Cypress is present inside the node modules bin and Cypress folder. So you have to navigate there and open it. So for that, what I will do is I will navigate to that particular folder, node modules .bin Cypress open. So this will open the Cypress test runner. So Cypress test runner is basically a GUI based application which allows you to interact with the different the different tests, and also choose between the different browsers. You can see that there is a folder called example which is created by the Cypress team along with some demo spec files to get you started. So to just make sure that Cypress is installed properly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all these spec files and see whether they are running properly or not, which will give me a confirmation that Cypress is installed properly in my machine. You can see that the test is loading and it is and the application is also loading inside the browser. So in Cypress terminologies, the left side window is called as application command log, where the commands are going to run, and the right side window is called as application window, where your application is going to load. So one thing to note is that, as I told you while explaining the architecture itself, these both are iframes, and your Node.js process is going to inject the test into an iframe. So your test and application both are going to run inside the same browser. That's the reason Cypress is really fast. There is unlike Selenium, there is no browser driver or anything. There's no browser driver or anything in the middleware. Everything runs inside the browser. So this gives us confidence that okay, all the tests are running fine. So let me go back to the framework structure now. So since when I open Cypress open, you can see that inside my workspace, there is a Cypress folder that is created. If I open that, you can see that there is a default folder structure given by Cypress. So if you're coming from the Selenium background, then in Selenium, whenever you create a framework, whenever you create a Maven project or build or Gradle project, you yourself have to create all the folders and the relevant test cases. Here, Cypress team has already given a default framework structure. So you just have to understand what each folder. Once you have installed the Cypress, it has given you a framework structure. The framework structure consists of mainly four folders. One is fixtures, integration, plugins, support, screenshot, and all the three JSON files. Now let us try to understand what each folder serves its purpose and why these folders are created. So now let us start with fixtures. So fixtures is a folder that is mainly used for test data management. For example, if you want to pass any static test data to your test, the best the you can keep it here. You can see that the Cypress team has already created a example.json which consists of key value pairs. So say for example, if you want to use this data inside your test again and again, you don't want to hard code, then you can keep it in your fixtures folder and read it from here. Not just JSON, it can any if you want to upload any file, or if you want to read data from the Excel file or XML file, you can keep in the fixtures folder and you can read it using cy.fixtures method. So fixtures folder is mainly used for test data part. So now the next folder is integration. Integration is one of the important folder where you're going to write your test cases. So Cypress recommends you to write your test inside the integration folder itself. The reason being, run your Cypress test, it is going to take the test. It is going to pick the test from the integration folder itself. So make sure you write your test in the integration folder itself. As you can see that Cypress team has already created a demo folder with certain examples to get you started to see how Cypress tests are written and all. So that is the integration folder. Now coming to plugins, so as the name itself says, if you want to plug in any different third party plugins like XPath or SQL database connectivity, you can mention here and it will get connected with your Cypress plugins. So it will kind of more act like an event listener, wherein if you want to listen to any events before or after the test and log those events, you can put it here. It is similar to that of your listeners in TestNG, this file, right? So there is a folder called screenshot. So screenshot is basically a folder which gets created if there is any test failure. So in Selenium, if you want to if you want to have a screenshot in when there is a failure, then you have to implement that functionality. But in Cypress, both video and screenshot features are given by default, which means if the test fails because of any error, then the any error, then the Cypress take the screenshot of that particular page and attach it here. So that's the reason the screenshot folder is there. Now there is a support folder. In support folder, we have two files. One is command.js and index.js. So command.js is a file which is used for writing custom commands. So custom commands, for example, login. So login is one of the method that we use most in every test case in our while writing our test, right? So you can create a login custom command, and you can link with your CY object so that you don't have to repeat that method again and again. So this is where you keep your all the custom commands. And index.js is mainly used for putting the global configurations. So when I say global configurations, you want to you want to run a test in a particular viewport and a particular view size, and you want to preserve the cookies before running any test, then you can put all those things here. And one thing to note is that index.js is the first file that gets loaded when you run your Cypress test. Okay, so this is about the support folder. So now coming to node modules is where all your package dependencies are of Cypress are stored in node modules. And you can see that there are three files of JSON, right? Now let us start with cypress.json. Cypress.json is basically used for managing the basic dependencies. For example, you want to override the base URL, you want to turn off the video recording, or you don't want you want to pass any environment variable. So all that you can do here. So Cypress comes with some default configuration. So if you want to see that configuration, you have to open test runner. So one thing to note is that there are two ways you can run the test in Cypress. One is using open mode, another is using run mode. So talking about the open mode will basically open Cypress test runner, which is a GUI based, it is a GUI based web, which will allow you to interact with your different tests, also choose between the browsers. So for opening the Cypress test runner, you have a command called npx cypress open. This will open the Cypress test runner. You can see that a CY icon is popping up, and it will see here. you can see the web-based, a web-based GUI where you can see all the tests that you have written in the integration folder, and also you can choose between the different browsers like Firefox, Electron, and it allows you to do the cross-browser testing, right? So as I was talking about, Cypress.json, which has some basic configuration. So there are some default configuration. To view the default configuration, you can go to settings and you can see, click on the configuration. So by default, all the tests will listen to these configurations. And if you want to override any one of them, you can say base URL. So as of now, base URL is set to null. Say, for example, you don't want to hard code the base URL in every test and you want to override it, then you can say base URL to any URL that you want to visit the website. Say I will say amazon.com. Yeah. So basically now what will happen is every time when the Cypress test will start running, it will listen to this configuration for this particular key. Whereas other configurations, it will listen to this itself. Sorry, just a second. So apart from this, also we have different configurations configured in the settings. I'll just walk you through that. You can see that the base URL is now set to the amazon.in. Okay, now you can even increase the default command timeout. Default command timeout is basically Cypress will wait for timeout before for 4 seconds. For example, if the element is not visible, it will wait for the 4 seconds, then it will time out or it will give an error. So you have different configuration option setting here. You can override it in cypress.json. So now let me go back to the cypress.json. So this is the importance of why cypress.json is used in your Cypress framework. And next one is package.json. As I've explained in the while creating the command in this file itself, package.json is mainly used for managing the dependencies for npm. Okay, so this is the Cypress structure and what are the different relevant folders that it creates and what is their importance or why they are present. So now let us try to write a small test case. Now let us try to write a small test case inside the integration folder and let us try to see in what all ways it can be run. So what I will do is I will navigate to integration folders. So what I was doing is let us try to create a small script inside the integration folder and try to run that. So I will say example new. So I'll name this file as first test.spec.js. This is the naming convention that we need to follow while writing the test. So as I told that, Cypress uses Mocha framework out of the box. So if you look at the Mocha framework structure, then it starts with a describe block. Okay. So before writing the describe block, if I write any CY or any command, the Visual Studio Code is not understanding that because it does not have that intelligence to identify different commands. So different commands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that intelligence using a line. So that is called as reference type equal to Cypress. So reference type equal to Cypress is the line which allows you to, which gives the intelligence to the Visual Studio Code to suggest some auto suggestions while writing the commands. So I'll start with the, as I said that it uses Mocha framework out of the box. I'll start with a describe block. So describe block is similar to that of test suite in your testng, which takes a name. So in my case, I'll try to give a name as my first test. Okay, and I'm going to write it as a function. So describe block is basically consist of multiple it blocks. So describe block is like a test suite, then it block is like a test, a particular test. You can relate that to add test annotation in testng. So I'm going to say it block, and the name of the test I'm going to give is launch Amazon website and search product. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to launch Amazon website and search the product. Now let us see how can we write a test for this in Cypress. So now once this is done, so for opening the website and visiting a URL, we have a command called cy.visit. one thing to note is that CY is a global object that has permission to access all the APIs under the Cypress. So you have to link every command gets linked to this CY global object. So if you are clicking, if you are trying to get an element, then CY is a global object that you have to link it, right? So I'll say cy.get. So I'll say cy.visit. So as you can say, as you saw that before, I have kept my base URL in cypress.json. So Cypress will always listen to this the custom configuration. To make it listen to this, what I have to do is I have to say just slash. So when I say slash, it will Cypress will understand that the base URL is configured in the cypress.json, and it will visit that particular base URL. So now let us try to visit. Now let us try to run this test and see what it will do. So you can see that I have opened the test runner, and I have the first test.spec.js created here. I'll just click on that, and you can see that Chrome browser has opened, and it has started running my test. So basically it should open amazon.com in the application window. Yeah, you can see that amazon.com got opened, or it got loaded. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I have to inspect this guy, which is a search box, and enter a value in it, or enter the product to be searched. So for this, we don't have to go to the Chrome and inspect the element. So Cypress, inside the Cypress browser itself, it has a feature called Selector Playground. So you can see this button here. So basically, Selector Playground lets you to interact with the web element, and it will give you a locator of that. So if I just click on that and hover on any of the web element, I want the locator of this, right? If I just click on this, you can see that it is giving me the command or the locator of the particular web element that I'm searching for. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go to my code, and I'll say, yeah, cy.get. So cy.get is similar to that of browser.find element with a locator here. The one thing to note is that Cypress supports CSS out of the box. It does not support any other locators. Although you can, there is a npm plugin to make it support XPath also, but you have to say cy.xpath and install that plugin. We are going to see that in the later part of our series. So stay tuned for that. So Cypress, so what I'm doing is I'm getting this web element, and I have to perform a type operation. For that, I have a command called type. So I want to search a product that is 1+8. And so the moment I make any changes here, I don't have to save the code and run the test. The Cypress test runner is intelligent enough to identify that there was some changes made in the test, and I have to rerun the test again. So you can see that if I just edit this and see, you can see that the test will start running automatically from the beginning. So this is one of the my favorite feature of Cypress, where you don't have to save the code and again open the browser and test it. So in Cypress open mode, the moment you make any changes in the code, it will automatically identify that, and it will start running the test. Okay, and you can also see that since it has access to DOM and even the different network logs, you can see all the networks that are network call that are happening, and also what is getting typed. You see this, it is taking a DOM screenshot, and it is showing you before the DOM how it was, and after entering the value how it is. So this is one of the really cool feature of Cypress. And so now what I have to do is I have to enter. So for entering, I need to inspect this guy. So which is a nav search submit button. I'll just copy this code, and I'll go to my test runner, sorry, my Visual Studio Code, and I'll say cy dot this button dot click. I have to perform a click operation, right? So for clicking, we have a command called click. So you can see that the moment I make some changes, it will start the test, running it from the beginning, and it will enter the product and click on it. You can see that all my product search has been displayed. Now what I will do is I will try to assert that whatever URL I'm visiting will have a you know uh, keyword called one plus, right? So for that, what I will do is we have a custom command called as cy.url, which will get the URL of a current browser, and I will assert. For asserting, I have a command. I have a test command coming from the child library called should. I will say it should include a text called as 1+8. 1+, yeah, that's it. So you can see that the test started running from automatically. It will search 1 plus 8, and you can see that the assertion also will pass. Oh, sorry, it's case sensitive. Yeah, you can see that the assertion has passed, which means the URL that we are trying to visit has a keyword or the word called OnePlus. So this is how we have written a small test where, you know, so if I just go back to the code and see what we have written a describe block, which comes from the chai library, and describe block is a combination of multiple it blocks. It block is a single test inside a Cypress. So it blocks takes a name. The name of the test is launch a Amazon website and search a product. So in which what we are doing is we are visiting a website.
Okay.
What we're doing is we are trying to visit a website that is amazon.com that is configured in your cypress.json. So that is called with a key base URL. So now what we are doing is we are trying to inspect the search box and we are typing the 1 plus 8 product there, and we are clicking on the search button and we are asserting that the URL consists of this keyword called 1 plus. So this is a small script that we have written. So one of as I told that there are two ways to run your Cypress test. One way is of course the Cypress open mode, which opens the Cypress test runner, in which you can interact with a GUI applications using the selector playground, and you can see all the assertion happening inside the test itself, and you can see before the DOM and after the DOM what happens. Time travel, you can travel between the different commands that you have done, which helps you to debug the test very quickly if there is something wrong, right? So this is one of the way you can run your Cypress test. Now if you want to run the Cypress test using the command from the command prompt, then there is a different command. One thing to note is that when you run the test from the Cypress GUI, that is Cypress test runner, the screenshot and videos, the video won't be recorded. So if you run that Cypress test from the command prompt is when it is recorded. So for opening the Cypress test runner, we followed a command called as npx cypress open, which will open the Cypress test runner. Now, if you want to run a particular test from the command prompt, then we have a command called npx cypress run hyphen spec, and which is a test you want to run. So say for example, I want to run this test. So I have to navigate to that test, which is present in Cypress folder under integrations, under examples, and what is the name of the test? That is first test.spec.js. So this command will basically run the test from the command line. It will, so by default it will run in Electron browser in a headless mode. Okay, so I'll just say enter, and you can see that the CY icon is popping up, and it has started running the test inside the Electron browser, and it says one test found under this location, and you can say that it is printing the describe block. It has started running the test inside, so and the test passed also, and you can see that it has taken the video. So if you go to where it has taken the video, then it is under the video section. If I open in Reveal Finder, then if I just play it, as it has run it in the headless mode, you can see that it has recorded the whole test. As you saw that this command will basically run the test inside a Electron browser by default and in a headless mode. And when it ran, it recorded the video also for you. As I showed you, you can open the video in Reveal Finder, and you can see that the test which we ran just a few minutes ago in test runner is running inside a headless browser. So say for example, if you want to run the test inside Chrome, then what you have to do is you have to pass a flag called -b Chrome. And if you don't want to run it in a headless mode, you can run in headed mode using --headed tag. So this will basically run your first test spec.js file inside a Chrome browser with the in a headed mode, right? So you can see that. I'll show you that also. It opened the Cypress browser, Cypress test runner, and it see that you can see that the Chrome opened because we are telling it to run in a headed mode, right? So you can see that it will search the product, and it will assert that the URL has a 1 plus text in it. Yes. Yeah, so these are the two ways in which you can run the test inside the browser. One is open mode and another is run mode. This is what we had for this session, where we covered about what is Cypress architecture, how Cypress architecture is different from that of Selenium, and when you install the Cypress for the first time, what all relevant folders that you get, and what is the purpose of each and every folder. So we are going to have a hands-on session going forward with writing the test, how to read the data from the fixture files, how to install the third-party plugins, and how to write the Cypress custom commands. And another thing we are really excited to talk about is Cypress dashboard. So Cypress dashboard is something, it is like a, let me open Cypress dashboard. So when you open the Cypress test runner, you have a tab called as runs, which allows you to integrate with Cypress dashboard. So Cypress dashboard is a paid service by Cypress, which allows you to, record your test in CI and push it to the Cypress dashboard, which has really good features. We have a separate series coming up on that. So stay tuned for the more with QA Tech Talk series, Cypress series. So yeah, that's it. What I had to show you for this session. So uh, you guys have any questions, any doubts? I know I went a bit fast. I'm really sorry for that, but yeah, I hope you guys understood what I wanted to convey. So you guys have any questions?
Right. Thank you so much, Sachin, for your wonderful information sharing and your demo. For those of you who may found it a bit too fast, don't worry. This session is recorded. So just follow on our social media and you can rewatch this session. All right. So now we're going to jump into the Q&A. So Sachin, you can take a look at the chat, and I'm going to read some questions to you, and then
Sure.
you just answer them.
Sure.
All right. So the first question is, can you put some words on how POM can be implemented to reuse the functions and common web elements?
Okay, so here talking
So
about
Daniel, sorry to interrupt you, Sachin. So some of the question we have already
Oh,
answered here.
fantastic.
So
All right,
yeah,
Vinayak, please go ahead and choose a question that hasn't been answered yet. Yeah, looks like we have a very active chat going on. Thank you guys so much for answering these questions as we go along. Very helpful for all of you. So yeah, let's have some questions that have not yet been answered by the community.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So Vinayak, are there any of these questions that have not yet been answered? I'm just skimming through them.
Yes, there are a few questions are not answered. Can we use Cypress to test Wasm code? Nicholas, could you please explain what is Wasm?
Can you come again? What can we use Cypress for?
Can we use Cypress to test Wasm code? WASM code.
Not sure of that. I mean, what is awesome? Can anyone brief about what is that exactly?
Hi, Nicholas. Could you please explain about Wasm?
Oh, WASM.
WASM.
All right, Nicholas Chu, please feel free to unmute yourself and enlighten us. What do you mean by WASM code? And then after you finish, Sachin will be happy to answer your question.
So let's take another question. Is it comfort with iframe?
Yes. So answering about iframes, Cypress does support. So Cypress has some limitations, interacting with iframes, but definitely there is a workaround. I have, myself implemented working with iframes. Definitely, we'll have a separate session on how to work with iframes and how to interact with it within the elements inside the iframe for sure.
so guys, in the coming session, we are going to cover iframe, and there are some other stuff like DOM, Shadow DOM, and all. So we are going to cover in next sessions, basically coming sessions. Yeah.
Cypress has basically limited support for iframes, but definitely there's a workaround, and there are really good blogs which will definitely help you to kind of automate your workflows with iframes, but it does not have any inbuilt support for that. Yeah. Any
Okay,
other?
there is another question. As Cypress is working under a proxy, will we face issue running it using VPN?
Not sure of that. Haven't tried with running into VPN. But I don't see why it should.
Priyanka, we have worked with VPN as well, so there will be no issue whether we connect with VPN or without VPN. Cypress works as usual with
Yes.
or without VPN.
What if it takes the anti-credential for logging to the page? So auto anti-credential, right? It will, you are in a corpnet and it takes your corpnet anti-credential to log into the page and do the authentication. So will we face issue while running under Cypress?
You mean like HTTP basic authentication credential?
Yes, it is your basic anti-credential stored in your credential.
Yes, we can handle, basic HTTP authentication using the Cypress.on window function. So there is a possibility there are functions as well.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Feel free to ask any other questions.
Hi, my name is Jawhar. It was a nice session. I have one question related to Cypress with the continuous integration tool integration like TeamCity. Do you have a direct support to integrate a Cypress framework to run through continuous integration engine like TeamCity? Like the scenario is like I just want to run my tests in an IAC environment where developer check-ins the code and where the build happens, and then automatically I want to trigger the Cypress tests where I can do the things using a CI tool like Jenkins or TeamCity, but I'm specifically looking for TeamCity.
So it's support for the TeamCity, right? So in the coming, even in fact in the coming session, we are going to give a session on it, how we can integrate CI/CD. But yes, it will integrate. We can run our test cases in CI/CD with using Jenkins, TeamCity, CircleCI. There are so many CI/CD tools that we can use.
But if you adding to just what Kailash said, so if you're planning to run your test using CI/CD, I would highly recommend you to check out GitHub Actions workflow, which I've been trying from last 1 month, and it's working really fine. I mean, it works really good with Cypress. So if you have plan of integrating CI/CD, then definitely we also have a session coming up how to integrate CI/CD of Cypress using GitHub Actions. So if you haven't given a try, then I would highly recommend you to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your answer, guys. Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
Hey, hi Sachin, Prasad here.
Hey, hi. Tell me.
Yeah. So my question is that, so you mentioned it's basically used for the modern web. So what it means modern web?
So
That's
when
my
you
first question.
so basically the applications which are built using Angular and React, right? So basically for those kind of applications, Cypress, is really built good because of its features, like, it runs inside the browser and it interacts with the DOM and all. But in Selenium, if you see, there are some rendering of some elements for which you have to wait explicitly. So in Cypress, it has an automatic page load for 60 seconds, and before any commands timeout, it takes 4 seconds and wait for the DOM element to render and all those things. So if you haven't checked out the Cypress recipe, example, then you can go to their GitHub page, and where they have a GitHub page for they have taken an Cypress website and automated with the React application. So
Okay.
yeah. Did that answer that question? Your question? No.
Yeah. So my second question is, can we do the API testing, API automation with the
Yes,
Cypress?
with Cypress, we can do API automation as well. We have a separate series coming up on API automation, where we are going to see how to call multiple endpoints with different methods that the API supports. We'll definitely have that.
So I want to add one thing more. So apart from the UI and API, we can also do the accessibility testing. We can do visual testing,
Correct.
right? So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So my next question is that, so can we that means implement the data-driven approach or the keyword-driven approach in Cypress? So as you mentioned in the fixtures block, so we can use that fixture block for the test data management, right? So I guess we can incorporate the data-driven approach, I guess. But what about the keyword-driven approach? Can we implement in Cypress?
I think keyword driven is not, but yes, data driven is kind of, we can say, like we can keep our data in fixture files, right? So we can keep the XLS path, and even we can keep the, I mean, we can keep data. Suppose we have to test some login skill, right? So we have username, password, we can keep in our fixer file, and just we have to call that fixer file in our test cases, and then we can use basically that data, right?
Okay. Okay.
But yes, but
And
yeah, please.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but keyword driven, it, I think, if I'm correct, it not support. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also considering if you are considering the banking application, so in that case right now, that means for the testing purpose, let's consider we are having the huge amount of data. So
Mhm.
can we use that huge amount of data in pictures, or we need to
Yeah. Yeah. So in that case, even in my project, we have a lot of data basically. So what we have done basically, we have created a JSON file basically for the data, right? Different, like module wise, we have created JSON file, because I have a basically 6 or 7 modules. So, and we have a lot of data. So in that case, what we have done, we have created the separate JSON files for each of the module, right? And then we can just call that JSON file, right? I hope you got.
So any other questions, guys?
So what are all the frameworks does Cypress support?
So it supports one is Mocha, Chai, and for assertions, and it supports even Cucumber also. So yeah, Kailash, you want to add something here?
Yeah, so we can, yeah, we can, it support Cucumber, yes. So we can integrate Cucumber with Cypress very easily, right? So given when, then like we do in Selenium, so we have to just, we have to do some setups, and then we can easily integrate the Cucumber. Yeah, Cucumber is, we can easily integrate here.
can't use this Cypress for the non-functional testing like performance testing and security testing, right? Or we can?
No.
Performance testing we can do, but we have to, yeah, performance testing we can do, but we have to, there is some workaround for it, right? We have to add some plugin and all. We have some open plugin for that, but yes, that plugin are not much mature right now, right? But if I say right now, if you want to use Cypress, you can use for UI, API, visual testing, and accessibility testing. These are the 4 things that you can straightforward do basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And coming up to that, like coming to load testing or security testing, it's not good to
Yes.
use single tool for multiple purposes. There are like a load testing JMeter, Locust, specifically designed for the load testing and performance testing. So we should use what are the specifically designed tools. And security testing, there are OWASP, ZAP, or some other burp suite tools. So these are like highly defined for the security testing and other load testing. So we should not use functional, performance, load testing, security, everything in one tool. So there are like dedicated tools. So we should use best practices.
Right. Agree. Yeah. Yeah. So the last question from my side, Sachin. So Cypress, it's a free tool or it's a paid tool?
Cypress is first of all a free tool. If you are going to the Cypress dashboard, then it is a paid. But Cypress dashboard is also free if your project is a open source. They allow you to, kind of run your test and have the test result reflected there with 500 recordings. Only if it is, only if it is an open source, and if it is a public repo. If it is a private repo, then Cypress dashboard is a paid, whereas Cypress is an open source free tool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a great session, Sachin. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
sorry, I have one doubt. Kailash, Bhuvan here.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like, suppose like if you want to pass the, I mean, you want to pass the data from Excel sheet instead of JSON file, picture file. So is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. Haven't worked on that, but I heard that.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, go ahead, Sachin. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, go ahead, Sachin.
No, go ahead, Kailash. No issues. So he
Yeah,
is
we-
asking whether we can pass the data from the Excel sheet to the Cypress test or not. So we can read the data from the Excel sheet using the fixtures method, and we can pass it in Cypress tests. Yeah, that is possible.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Distribution of test case is possible. Normally in Selenium, we use hub and grid structure, right? Suppose you have more number of test cases and you want to run it in a single instance. So is there any way so that we can distribute the multiple number of test cases to multiple server and run it, or it will be always parallel uh, to the server or machine where we are running it?
So you're talking about the parallel feature?
I'm talking about the distribution of the test cases. Suppose you have 100 test cases and you want 50 in one server, 50 in another. So is it possible, or I have to focus onto one server and run all 100 test cases parallelly at a time?
Parallelly, definitely we can do, but for the parallel, it's actually it's a license one, right? And apart from that, like we in Selenium, we give the tags, smoke test or regression tag. Here also in Cypress, though I have not used, but yeah, I read somewhere we can give the tag, we can pass the tag like smoke test or regression, so we can categorize our test cases on the basis of smoke test or regression test, and just passing that parameter in our I mean in command line, then we can execute the smoke one or regression. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how to run the particular it block from the test suite?
So basically, okay, sorry, I forgot to show that. So if you want to run a particular test, right? So so this Mocha comes with a tag called .only. So you can test, you can run that particular test if your describe block has say around 50 tests, and if you want to run only 5 tests around that. So with only tag you can only run these tests.
Or even what you can do, like we have a here Sachin showing here we have describe block, and in
Yeah,
describe
you can even tag that to a particular
describe
block.
block also.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can do that.
So suppose you have 5 describe block, and each describe block you have five test cases. If you want to run first describe block or second, you have just put only .only, and then you can run the test cases.
Or else, if you have a 4 describe block, or in which you want to run 3 and skip 1, you can say even skip also.
Skip also.
Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
One question I have, like, we have discussed most about the benefits of Cypress, right? Maybe, I mean, advantages of any cons or challenges you guys have faced while implementing this, while working on Cypress. Because I'm trying to work on Cypress in my company, but still exploring the project. So looking at some challenges, like any kind of things you guys have faced.
Well, definitely it has some cons. One is you need to have a knowledge about TypeScript or JavaScript to get started with Cypress. I mean, need not to be a pro, but at least you need to have a basic understanding of how to write for if loop or for loop in JavaScript. That is one thing. And it has very limited support to iframes. So although there is a workaround, but it does not have the inbuilt support for iframes. That is, and if your application has the feature where you need to interact with iframes, then you need to see and Google around it. That is second thing. The third thing is it does not have any feature to run your test in parallel inbuilt, right? So although it can be done with integration with Cypress dashboard and with same CI/CD integrations, yeah, I think so. These are some of the cons that I think.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah, Sachin.
As per the question, like
last question from my side.
Yes,
So like in the you have the Cypress test runner, right? So like in that you can see the like command log and application log. Suppose if you run any, suppose I have the requirement. If you click on any one link, it will redirect to the second tab. So is that possible to act on the other tab? I mean second tab.
Well, Cypress does not support multi-tab because the Cypress is architectured in that way, but definitely you can, automate those kind of scenarios where there is a multi-tab functionality. You can open within the single tab itself and you can automate that.
You mean to say like within the same tab, you can
Yes.
open that?
Yes, correct.
But how do you make sure that whether when you clicking that link, it is going to the other tab or not?
You can get the URL and you can assert that, that particular URL is rendering or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other questions?
All right, fantastic. It looks like we've answered all of our participants' questions. Thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful questions. And thank you so much, Sachin, for answering every single one of them.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.